everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Hbtv. I'm very happy to have you all here, and I'm very excited. This is a very special episode because I have a very special guest here with me today. I'd like you all to meet Smoothiedude.
Hi.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Okay, das funktioniert. Interessant.
Hey, Vivo, can you try?
First question. What kinds of players do you just hate absolutely the most? And if you had the power, what would you do to change them?
The players that I hate the most, I mean, there's a lot of them, but I think the worst ones is the hangout people, because they're like actively playing a game where you have to like fight people.
Trigger warning. Have you ever had a real life job before? Not hating, they just want to know what it's like.
Okay, fine. I'll say the truth. I've been denied at every single job. Like, nowhere wants me at all.
Out of all the characters, which one do you think needs a total rework the most?
The one that needs a total rework, I would say Dobby V1, because it nerfed all environmental attacks or whatever, so you can't combo extend off of it. So his moveset is kind of just eh. You can still like do a lot of damage with it, but it kind of loses its like main gimmick of being environmental based.
Originally, what actually got you into the Battlegrounds genre on Roblox?
The thing that got me into the Battlegrounds genre is the fact that like you can have a bunch of characters that will never have a good fighting game or just never have a fighting game in general, and then put them in a somewhat enjoyable Roblox game. Like that's what really caught my eye or just caught my attention to the genre.
What is your opinion on HBG clans or just in general any kind of Battlegrounds clan?
Clans in general, they're like the definition of I have a dick up my ass mentality. Like all they do is just promote teaming and shit, and it just makes it so unfun to play.
Tell 'em. Damn, okay.
Yeah. From Carshanks 5142. Hot take. I think Call of the Evil is a horrible move for both aesthetically and for fighting.
Yeah.
So for Call of the Evil, I mean, I low-key agree with this comment. Like Call of the Evil honestly is the most underwhelming fourth move for any ultimate ever. It is just like the lamest shit. You spam M1, that's it. Especially in a game where you have like True Evil, just like a bunch of other moves that look cooler than this. And plus, it has no cinematic finisher, even though everything else in his kit has a cinematic finisher. So like, what? It feels just underwhelming. From the real Izuki Midoriya. Hot take. Not trying to glaze, but at the same time I am. Oh man. I like the base moveset and the ult moveset for base Deku, and I think it would be so cool if the finisher on the base moveset had more cutscenes. Oh, and especially the multiple orange punches in the air thingy. I think that was called Infinite or whatever. No. The good thing about his moveset is the fact that you can just go in and kill shit without having to sit through a cutscene or whatever. I kind of disagree with that, not gonna lie. But you know, I mean, I guess you're entitled to your own opinion. Izuku Midoriya, whatever.
What are your favorite games of all time, not just Roblox games?
Dark Souls 3, that's just peak. Dead Space 2, that's peak as well. Castle Crashers, I grew up with that, so that's just peak. Left 4 Dead 2, I grew up with that as well. And I would say Half-Life 2 as well.
I know Heroes Battlegrounds has a lot of problems. What do you think is holding back HBG the most?
Okay. Wait, do you want me to get like? I kind of wrote a detailed like list.
Go for it.
Leave it. Okay. The cinematic cutscenes just being lower quality and just being completely spammed on finishers. Like they're just too many of cinematic. There's too many cinematic cutscenes where they're just like too long and they ruin gameplay. I just honestly prefer like the non-cinematic ones where like say Overhaul. Overhaul is like what? 1-4. When you combine 1 with 4, where you just shoot them to death, I think that's good. I think that's honestly the best finisher in the game. I'll be so for real, just funny. And then next, newer movesets not having as much depth as the previous characters. I mean, what? Overhaul and Tenya doesn't really have stuff like the vertical damage scaling from Deku, the reserve variants from Bakugo, not even the QTEs. Even Tenya, he doesn't really utilize a hold down feature, and he kind of just like, it's just forgotten about later on. Like even in this ultimate where Chronos could be a perfect hold down move, it's not a hold down move at all. It's just like you press 1 and then you do 45 damage. It's kind of stupid. Hyperfixating on bomb rushing content. I really think the most retarded thing they've done is ask the community for like when they want the update instead of just like deciding it on themselves. Because of course the community, I mean, like we both know they're just dumb. They're retarded. Like come on. So of course they're gonna ask for the content now instead of later. And now this update was just kind of dog shit. I can't lie. It was very underwhelming.
And now we can move on to the discussion segment, everybody's favorite. Last week, I asked you guys if there were any long shot characters that you didn't actually expect to be a character in HBG, but you wanted anyway. And you guys had some interesting answers, to say the least. And I picked a couple hot take-ish ones to also pick. This comment comes from Isete08, I think, but they're talking about how Overhaul just kind of feels like Cementos on crack, which I can completely see where they're coming from, because a lot of Overhaul's moves are dependent on, you know, breaking the ground apart or changing the shape of the ground and using that as a tool, which, you know, is very Cementos, so I see where they're coming from. And I'm not going to act like I'm some genius and I have some ideas to make Overhaul feel more like Overhaul, but I'm going to agree, and I say I know where this person's coming from, and, you know, I don't blame them for thinking that. This comment is from ADPlays1083, and I think this was just a bit, obviously, but it was really funny because a lot of, you know, some people said like the sludge villain from episode 1, which, don't get me wrong, is really funny, but this one is just... That is so specific. That's ball knowledge. You have to... I don't even know how you remember a character like this, but I respect it. So we're putting you up on the big screen. And this last one comes from BusinessCat N9K, which isn't a super long shot because they're in class 1B, so kind of a main-ish character, but they were asking for manga to be added, which I like because... Any of the characters that gives the devs a lot of creative freedom, I'm immediately like biased towards, because I've seen what the devs can do when they just kind of ball out, like with Stain V2 ult, and I'm way more interested to see stuff like that, or they just do whatever the hell they want. And that is it, unfortunately, for this episode of Hbtv. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked our very first cameo. I'm recording this after they've left already, so I won't have anything from them to say. They won't have anything fun to say during this outro, but I hope you guys liked it. It was really fun getting in contact with Smoothie. He's a really great guy. Please, down in the comments, let us know that you are here and that you will be here for us on the next episode of HBTV. Have a great night, guys.